Thanks, Kabir. Kabir has discussed about multiliteracy's assessment approaches like project assessments, performance assessments, group assessments, and portfolios. I will talk about inductive approach for assessments, its benefits, and some of the challenges as suggested by Ersanatham. Before starting that, let's think about what to keep in mind while designing assessments. I really like the quote by Asao Inoue that to have effective and productive assessments that teachers, all stakeholders involved in the assessment must be the part of the entire process. Students can simply be recipient of the assessment. They must be central to the practices in the classroom. And inductive approach is exactly this kind of approach in which students are central to the practices in the classroom. So what is it? What is inductive approach for assessments? It is basically creating a grading criteria with the help of students for multimodal assessments to enhance their understanding of multimodal texts. When students will create their own grading criteria, then they will come to know the criteria others use to judge the quality of an electronic text, how an electronic text can be judged within various contexts, and how to secure evidence to measure a text's value according to different audiences, contexts, and criteria. It is a crucial skill students need to acquire to succeed as writers, as learning to evaluate the effectiveness of text is an important part of being able to read and write well. I didn't use this approach during my practicum, but as I was reading about it, I find it really interesting. It is a very good approach to use if you are working on a multimodal project with your students. Suppose you are doing a video project with your students. As suggested in the reading, we will see how you can prepare your students in developing grading criteria. We will understand it step by step. It basically involves multiple scaffolding activities, starting with introducing rhetorical viewing, then bi-weekly rhetorical viewing homework, and in the end, delineating and consolidating the student-generated grading criteria. Let's start with introducing rhetorical viewing. In this scaffolding activity, you can watch diverse multimodal video samples with your students on weekly basis for a few weeks. It is very important to tell your students that the objective is to view each video critically and rhetorically by analyzing how images, sounds, alphabetic texts, and digital effects were used to construct each video. It is good to prepare a set of critical analysis questions that led students to pay close attention to rhetorical elements. You can prepare questions like who is the audience, what is the context of the argument, how are images arranged, in what order do they appear, is there any logic to them. So questions like this will help students understand how multimodal digital rhetoric operates and how it is constructed. The second step is to create bi-weekly rhetorical viewing homework. Once students become familiar with rhetorical viewing, you can assign 3 or 4 multimodal clips of disparate qualities on YouTube for them to watch as homework. This second scaffolding activity will help students to construct their criteria and to learn how multimodal elements function. This will also help them to develop familiarity with the multimodal video genre and learn to evaluate the quality of different kinds of clips. Also, continue to provide a set of analytical questions specifically designed for each video. After that, you can create discussion groups for students where they can discuss and comment on each other's observations. The final step is delineating and consolidating the student-generated guiding criteria. For third scaffolding activity, you can ask students to design a grading criteria sheet that could be used to assess their work. The criteria must clearly define the features of an effective multimodal digital project. It should address the uses of various boards, for example, images, text, sound, and digital effects like transitions, timing, and it should specify elements of argument including criteria for audience, context, use of evidence, etc. And it should be thorough and thoughtful. Once students revise their criteria sheet, ask them to evaluate the videos assigned to them for homework. Students must test the criteria sheet before submitting it to you. So what is the importance of doing all this? What students learn from producing the guiding criteria? It helps students better understand of what makes an effective multimedia clip. It provides them more transparency about assessment procedures. The criteria enables students to evaluate and assess multimodal work using rhetorical criteria and language. It helps teachers to assess students' understanding of multimodality and rhetorical principles and to correct any misunderstandings that students might have before starting the project. The evaluation criteria could be used to guide revision and peer responses. Overall, allowing students generate the criteria each semester prevents our standards from being outdated. And some of the challenges are it is time consuming and students might not take the whole process seriously. Overall, assessing multiliteracies presents new challenges because multiliteracies is about ways of knowing and being in the world rather than mastery of a particular set of cognitive skills. The core of a multiliteracies assessment is the core of any meaningful assessment. It is about watching, noticing what students are doing, and then using the information to guide the students towards new skills and knowledge. Thank you.